everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new, welcome back if you're returning. So if you've been here from the beginning, then sometimes we just have to hit this thing out in a row like this. So we are watching, what is this? Power Book 2, Ghost, episode 3, Play the Game. That's the name of it. So when I was thinking about this, probably about 5 minutes ago, y'all, I said play the game. Everybody's playing a game. But then I said, who's playing the most deadly game? Because Tariq plays a lot of games. Tasha's playing a deadly game because, don't quote me, I haven't checked it, but if memory serves me correctly, Tommy was the last person to see Ghost take his breath, correct? And Tommy looked up and he was like, you. And Ghost said, let it go, or let her go, let him go, something, but let it go. And Tommy didn't fire. But Tommy saw Tasha, right? Because I'm thinking, did Tommy see Tariq or Tommy see Tasha? I think Tommy saw Tasha. And he was like, you. And Ghost said, no. So why would she get in the courtroom and then throw out Tommy's name? Tommy is the only person that could really put you there. So why would... Anyway, we're going to get into this episode 3. We're going to watch this thing together because I hadn't seen anything. So let's just do this. One thing I can say is in their casting calls, they always pick the finest of men. But we start out the episode with the brothers, Cain and, I want to say Cain and Abel. I forgot the boy's name. Cain and Drew driving around collecting money. And I was like, this is just like, Tommy and his people going around getting all the money, spanking all of them. But how are they this big in the streets? And we didn't get to see them all throughout all these seasons of Power. What's going on with this family? Because you don't just come into this thing. But anyway, they're collecting money. And the kids are back at the house. Monet walks in. She's like, what's going on? So at this moment, this is when I realized, tell me if y'all caught this or if y'all already knew and I'm just slow. I didn't know that Diana was a part of this whole thing. Like, I'm under the impression that the kids may not know what the parents are doing, but it seems like with Monet and Papa Tejada, they do things a little bit differently. The kids are a part of their organization. And to be honest, I think I'm more surprised that Diana is actually a part of this. Anyway, we go over here to the jailhouse with Tasha. She's trying to convince them that she's not lying. She didn't do this. She didn't do that. Tasha is horrible. They all know she's full of crap. But every time they wind up asking somebody that was in the DA's office, is she the queen pin? Did she do this? The answer is always no. But what does it look like? That's where Tasha has trouble. But Tasha's like, just put me on the stand. They like, girl, okay, this is what you want. We're going to put you up there. Cool. Meanwhile, Tariq is in class and he's walking in a little bit late. The teacher kind of puts him on the spot. Tariq rises to the occasion. See, the other kids don't have an abstract view on things. They're kind of just regular, probably never really experienced much. But Tariq always seems to have put a spin on it. So he challenged his professor. The professor was like, okay, cool. He kind of smirked because I think he's not used to getting that. Tariq gets out of class and Lauren's like, listen, you need to stop challenging him. This is not, a PP contest. You need to fall in line. So Tariq takes her advice and writes a paper that pretty much gets him a failing grade because the black dude who was in the office, I forgot his name, but he's like, no, Tariq, no, you are here because you have a different view, and I know that you just did this to play into what you thought that man wanted to read, so I'm failing you, which is kind of crazy. But anyway, over here at the jail, Tasha, somebody's watching Tasha. It's one of the male inmates. He's working and they see Tasha may have given one of the inmates the morning after pill. Come to find out, Papa Tejada had his boy up there watching Tasha to see what was going on because he knew he had gotten her the morning after pill. So he's like, well, what is she doing? They don't really know, but they gonna find out, and I guess we are too. So not only does Tasha have an inmate watching her, Tasha's getting put on the spot because she was in that meeting and she was like, oh, put me on the stand, put me on the stand. She was so hyped to get on the stand. So they woke her up in the middle of the day, got her braids. She told me, I can't go on the stand looking like this. Well, this is what's gonna happen. Come to find out, they got a mock trial, which I thought was a great idea. They went over there and grabbed one of Tamika's wigs. They got the whole glam squad. Now she's looking halfway decent, and then she goes in here and she's gonna be a part of this mock trial. Okay, so Tasha gets up on the stand. Are y'all believing her? Because I'm not buying it. She's not the victim, and I'm afraid if that's the position that she takes, and the acting was good, but if I were in the jury, loved him, was there for him, all of this, but at some point you stop becoming the victim and start to join the team. So now we're going for queen pin status. Messing around, she's gonna get charged. Not with that. But y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section. Her whole performance was funny, and then all of a sudden after the performance, she like sat back and was smirking. I was like, oh yeah, see Tasha, they came and got her. I like that they got her and they remaked her and everything was good, but I'm not buying that performance, y'all. Now, Tariq's little friend, he's got all hookups on all fronts because he's got money. He's kind of like, the child that wants to rebel and doesn't have to do dumb stuff, but he's probably just bored, so he does dumb stuff. So he goes to his pediatrician, gets a full physical. He's like telling Tariq, like, yeah, I got this physical just so he could get in there and steal the script so that they can start doing what they need to do. But at the end of the day, you can only fill so many scripts before, you just gonna need to connect. So this is just in the interim until Tariq can get to Monet. So back at the house, back at the school, Monet's walking with her daughter, and they're talking, and she's like, look, I just want to go off and play college, play ball. How come I can't play ball? And Monet's like, no, the family needs you. And she's like, hold on, but the family don't need me. So what she did was, Monet told her, this is your job to be here for your brothers. So Diana called her dad and was like, look, Dad, I want to go to school. So Dad meets up with Mom, and he tries to persuade her to look at other avenues and let the daughter go off. So in other words, what Diana did is she playing the parents against one another, and it's almost working. Like, I understand what's going on, and I think that Papa Tejada's right. They need to let their daughter just go ahead and go off to school. But just the fact that she went behind her mother's back, now we know it looks like it was Monet. Like last episode I said that was running the family, but it's not. It's the father that's running it. But they're in this thing together, and Mom has a very high position with a lot of responsibility, but at the end of the day, she kind of has to go through her husband. So she's still on his team, even though he's locked up for life. Now, speaking of teams, Monet tells Diana that she would only be making about $75,000 a year. And I was like, hold on, that's all they make? I don't know. I need to fact check that. If someone knows, comment down below, but that's pennies. There's no way. She can't, that's no money. So I understand what Monet's saying. Her daughter kind of needs to stay home. But the father's like, let her go live her life. Meanwhile, the cousin, I didn't know that he was on probation to the point where he can't even play games. But he's stressed, and it seems like when it's time for him to do his work, he's not concerned. He's just out here running around with these girls and doing what he wants to do and relying on Tariq to do everything. But now it's time, for your feet to hit the pavement, and it's like, oh well, I want to play. There's more to playing than just playing. If you're going to go to school and be on a scholarship, you have to keep them grades up. But that you can't tell some kids anything. And speaking of not telling anyone anything, so Papa Tejada says send Drew to go handle these new crew that's getting out of line. We can't cut them out because I owe their father. So Monet doesn't like the new boys. They kind of flashy, all over the internet. She tells Kane to go follow Drew and just have his back. She's like, I'm gonna send Kane. Papa Tejada said, no, send Drew. So Papa Tejada is looking at this from a different angle, and I think he knows that Kane is a little bit of a mama's boy, and Kane is a little bit too loose cannon, a little bit emotional. Drew just hasn't stepped up because it seems like Monet favors Kane. So anyway, they get into a situation. Of course, Kane shows up and saves his brother, which he kind of had to, but he gets the shooting and they run off. Luckily, Monet has a relationship with the cop because he realized, hold on, there goes Monet's boys. So he kind of threw his partner off of their scent. But if she didn't have that connection with that police officer, those boys would have been screwed. So once again, you got Kane with the hothead doing emotional stuff and kind of putting everybody in a crazy position to get caught up. And that's why I think Tariq would be a better fit for her organization. But Tariq would have to be molded into that because she don't trust him and she doesn't like him. Speaking of not trusting and not liking, back at the courtroom, they decided to pull out Tamika. I said, oh, they had Tamika's glam squad there because they had Tamika there. So Tamika's the one that's gonna cross who's going to cross up Tasha and cross-examine Tasha. Tasha don't like this one bit, but I think that Tamika was the perfect person for the job. See, now, I would have voted Tasha guilty even before Tamika got on there, but once Tamika came in there and sliced and diced her whole argument, it's over. Like, it's game over. At this point, I'm looking at it like, Tasha's smart, but what is the problem? Why are they making her character so dumb? It's like, she thinks that she's smarter than an average cat, and in certain areas she's a smart woman, but when it comes to outsmarting other people, I think Tasha's problem is she doesn't look very far into the future. So did you not think that there were people who knew about this situation, this whole case? And I'm glad that her lawyer picked the perfect person. Tamika knows everything. So if you can't pass Tamika's scrutiny, there's no way you're going to be able to get through with Sachs. The only difference is Sachs is, his dirt is intertwined with their dirt. So Sachs can't ask too many questions because as soon as he gets asked some questions, then he implicates himself. So this is just crazy, but there's no way Tasha's getting out of this. Y'all put y'all predictions down in the comment section. Make sure you guys thumbs me up at this point, and we're gonna keep this thing rolling. But honestly, I'm not seeing how Tasha's supposed to get out of this, and I don't think her lawyers are seeing it either. Luckily for her, she's got a sleazy lawyer, so it may work out, but we're gonna see, I guess. And before I could even hit the play button, here it is. Tasha's lawyer asked Tamika to join the team, and I think that would be the only way to save Tasha. He knows they know way too much, and he needs an inside, someone who was at least on the inside at one point and who could help them, because Tasha's not walking away from this. In the midst of this, he lets her know, hey, I know what you got going on with Sax, or I know you and Sax have something going on. Tamika's face said everything. Now Tasha's lawyer has put 4 and 4 together, and he said, wait a minute, this is not about Tasha. This is about Sax. He knows. So now he's like a dog with a bone, and I'm so glad that he didn't give up on Tasha at this point, because she's going to need every bit of him, and he's going to need every bit of Tamika to get Tasha out of this mess. And since we're on the topic of mess, what in the world is going on with Jabari? He just called his ex and was talking about how he missed her or wanted to leave a voicemail and stuff. Now he's got some student bent over up there screaming his name. Old girl came to work to finish, she came in late to finish some work. Come to find out, he's up there putting in work as well. I just don't understand some people. Last episode, I thought she was the one with the sex addiction. Now I'm starting to think it's him. I don't know what's going on, but this was real messy. And she did it real classy. Like, she got her computer and left. I mean, a part of me wants to do that, but a part of me might have just knocked on the door and been like, hey, peeped my head and then kept rolling. I don't know. Y'all comment down below what y'all would have done. So now here we go. Tariq gets the meeting that he wanted with Monet. He's been begging for this meeting since the new season started. And he finally is up there with Monet. Monet has been avoiding this boy like the plague. So he's like, listen, I need to keep your nephew in school. I need to keep my family paid. Your nephew is a fool. And if I can't support my family, I can't keep him in school. So Monet was like, you know what, this boy's got a point. So now she's gonna work with him, but she's still not trusting him, rightfully so. But she said what you cannot do is stay in the room with Drew. You got to move out. So he's like, oh, I got the perfect place. So Tariq moves into the P Palace. What I'm confused about is, okay, Monet got him out. She calls up her husband, tells him what's going on. All right, we're going to work with Tariq. You need to make a phone call. So, Papa Tejeda has to call Tasha and let her know, hey, keep your son in line. He's working with us. If he steps out of line, he's dead. Simple as that. So now Tasha's scared. But before he made that phone call, Tasha called Tariq and put a lot of pressure on Tariq. Like, oh, you got to do whatever you got to do to make sure I can keep my lawyer. You know what your son is going to do. It's not like your son has a legit job. So you want him to go out here and do illegal stuff? Is that what you want? Because Tasha wants to get out, but she's putting grown man responsibilities on Tariq. So I'm kind of confused, because then when Tariq goes to the people who can help him, now Tasha's sitting there making faces inside the cell, and now she's all scared and nervous, like she doesn't want him to do this. But this is exactly what you told him to do. At the end of the day, you could have went to Simon Stern. You could have sold a little bit of your soul. I don't know what you would have had to do, but you could have figured it out, or had Tariq, tell him exactly what to do. But you know what Tariq is going to do. So I just don't understand what position she's trying to play. It's like, I don't want my son to get caught up in this life, but listen, I need you to get caught up in this life so that you can help me. Just don't tell me that you're involved in it. I don't know. Y'all comment down below. The way Tasha's moving, it's just weird. I'm not understanding the dynamics of her character this episode. So what I loved about this episode is it really showed the dynamic of how this thing is going. So Monet and Papa Tejeda are the parents that Tariq wished he had. And Tasha, well, not so much Tasha, but more so Jamie is the father that Diana wishes that she had. And a mother, I guess, the parents. Because Diana just wants to go to school. That's her thing. Tariq he will be a better street guy than Diana's boys if he was cultivated. So I think that they're going to be a dynamic duo in a sense, but then again, Monet doesn't trust Tariq, and honestly, I don't think that she should, because he's not cultivated. So he could get her hemmed up. So I don't know. This is crazy how this whole thing went. And if you guys are still with me, hit the thumbs up. Make sure you guys comment down below what y'all thought. Did anything surprise you in this episode? Because I had a whole bunch of surprises. And make sure that you guys subscribe to my channel and hit the blue bell for the notifications. I'm trying to get this video to 100 likes. next. I want to see what happens in the algorithm, if it'll get picked up, a whole bunch of SEO stuff that y'all aren't even interested in. But I do need your support, and I appreciate all of y'all. All right, let's do this again next time.